Raj Krishnam namasye sada Krishnenaiva surakshito hamasagrat Krishnaya dattam manaha Krishna deva samudbhavo mama vibho Krishnasya dasosmiham Krishne bhaktirachanchalastu bhagavan He Krishna Tubhyam Namaha He Krishna Tubhyam Namaha. We are on the 93rd Dashakam. In the Dashakam, we are going to see the 24 Gurus, which is part of Bhagavan's teaching to Uddhava Gita. The King Yadu, when he was traveling, he met a Avaduta Brahmana, who was none other than Dattatreya. He was sitting there quietly and was very happy with himself. This surprised the king. The king said, I have everything, the whole kingdom, all luxuries, pleasures, everything, but I cannot enjoy the joy that you experience. What is the secret behind it? And the answer to that question, Dattatreya Maharaj, the form of a Brahmana, answered that I have 24 Gurus from whom I learned, and that is why I am contented, happy. Now that topic is being discussed in this 93rd Dashakam. Now, Nirmala.
Bandhusneham vijahyam tava hi karunaya tvayupavešitātmā sarvam tyaktva chareyam sakalamapi jagad vikshya maya vilasam nanatvad bhranti janyat sati khalu gunadoshavabodhe vidhirva Vyase va katham tau tvai nihitamatehe vita vaishamya buddhehe.
Aham tava karunayahi. I shall, by your divine grace alone, vijahya bandhusneham, give up with discrimination, attachment to all relatives, upavesitatma tvai, with my mind engrossed in you, viksha sakalam jagata, and viewing the entire universe, api maya vilasam, as a manifestation of maya, chareyam tyaktva sarvam, I shall wander about renouncing all ritualistic actions, vidhihi va vyasethaha va, the injunction of the scriptures or the prohibition therein, sati gunadoshava-bodhe khalu, apply only when there is a concept of what is good and what is bad. Brandijanyat nanatvat, resulting from false understanding in the sphere of diversity in social classification. Vihita matehi tvai, for one who has fixed his mind firmly on you. Vita vaishamya buddhaihi, whose mind is free from the delusion about differences, tau katham, how will that discrimination occur? That discrimination means good and bad, dharma, dharma, is only for those people who see the difference. Here I don't see any difference. What I see is only the Lord Himself in everything. Therefore, with that vision, there is no dharma, there is no bandha, there is no moksha. That state is where that Brahmana was. Continuing.
क्षुतृष्णालोपमात्रे सततकृतधियो जन्तवः सन्त्यनन्ताः तेभ्यो विज्ञानवत्वात् पुरुष इह वरः तज्जनिर्दुर्लभैव तत्राप्यात्मनः स्यात् सुहृदपि च रिपुः यस्त्वयि न्यस्तचेताः तापोच्छित्तेरुपायम् स्मरति स हि सुहृत् स्वात्मवैरी ततोऽन्यः
Santi anantaha jantavaha. There are many living beings, animal, birds, etc. Satata krita dhiyaha, which have their mind permanently fixed. Sutrishna lopamatre. Trishna lopamatre. On satisfying their thirst and hunger alone. Iha purushaha varaha tepyaha. Here man is superior to them. Because of what? On account of vijnanavatva. On account of their faculty of this viveka or discrimination. That jenihi durlabha eva. Birth as this human being is hard to get indeed. Tatra api atma syat. There too one becomes atmanaha suhrit api cha ripuhu. One's own friend and also one's own enemy. Yaha nyasta chetaha tui. The one who has firmly fixed one's mind on you, O Lord, marati upayam, and think of an expedient, a way to get out of it, tapo chittehi, for the destruction of the miseries of samsara. Sahi suhrat, he alone is his own friend. Tataha anyaha tu. Swatma Vairihi, the one different from him, is his own enemy. Atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu, atmaiva ripuratmanaha. Bandhuhu atma atma atmanastasya enatmaiva atmana jidaha. Atma Atmanastu Satrutte Varte Deva Chatruvate. Bhagavan said that you yourself is your enemy, you yourself is your friend. One who has perfectly controlled his mind, that mind becomes your friend. The one who has left the mind loose without any discipline or any values, such a person becomes, such a mind becomes your enemy. Now, continuing.
त्वत्कारुण्ये प्रवृत्ते क इव न हि गुरुः लोकवृत्तेऽपि भूमन् सर्वाक्रान्तापि भूमिः न हि चलति ततः सक्षमां शिक्षयेयम् गृह्णीयाम् ईश तत्तद् विषयपरिचयेऽप्यप्रसक्तिं समीराट् व्याप्तत्वं चात्मनो मे गगनगुरुवशात् भातु निर्लेपता च.
Hey Bhuman, O all-pervading Lord, Tat karunye pravritte, when your divine grace is in operation, kaha nahi guruhu iva, who does not become like a teacher, who does not become your teacher. Iva Shabda is like a teacher. Lokavritte api, even in matters of worldly existence, bhumihi sarvakranta api na chalatihi. The earth, although tormented by all, does not move indeed from its position. Chikshayam sakshamam tataha. Let me learn true forbearance from that earth. Graniyam samirat aprasaktim. Let me learn from the wind non-attachment. Tat tat vishaya parichaye api. In spite of contact with various sense objects. Bhatu me gagana guru vashat. May it be clear to me through my teacher, the sky. Vyaptatvam atmanaha, the all-pervasiveness of the self. Nirlepatacha, and its freedom from pain. So, Kshamaya Prithvi Samaha, in patience equal to earth. So there is the earth, we learn from earth, Kshama. May I, with your grace, develop this great trait called Kshama. Then from wind, air. So wind coming in contact with all type of object, good or bad. But he never get tainted even to the slightest extent. This quality of non-attachment is to be learned from the air. The sky, looking at the sky with its all-pervading expanse of space, remind one of the all-pervasiveness and detachment of Atma. May the knowledge of the all-pervasiveness and detachment of the Atman dawn upon me. That is the Tatparya of the verse 3. Now 4, continuing.
स्वच्छस्यां पावनोऽहं मधुर उदकवद्वह्निवन्मास्म गृह्णाम् सर्वान्नीनोऽपि दोषं तरुषुतमिव मां सर्वभूतेष्वेयाम् पुष्टिर्नष्टिः कलानां शशिन इव तनोः नात्मनोऽस्तीति विद्याम् तोया दिव्यस्तमार्ताण्डवद् अपि च तनुषु एकतां त्वत्प्रसादात्.
Aham sya udakavate. May I become like water. Swachchaha, pavanaha, madhuraha. Swachchaha means clean, pavanaha means pure, madhuraha, purifying and sweet. Sarvaninaha api, though a consumer of all type of food. Masma vannivat ghrannam dosham. May I, like fire, be unaffected by anything bad. Mam aveyam. May I, the Atman, be known to be present. Sarvabhuteshu tam tarushu iva. In all living being, like that fire potentially in the wood or trees. Vidyam iva pushtihi nashtihi. May I learn that like waxing and waning are kalanam shashinaha naiva, for the faces, not for the moon. Pushtihi nashtihi, growth and decay. Asti tanoho atmanaha na. Growth and decay are for the body and not for the Atman. Tat prasadat aham vidyam. By your grace, divine grace, may I learn. Atmanaha ekatam, oneness, the universality of the Atman. Tanushu apicha, in every body too. Toyadivyasta martandavate, like the sun reflected on many surfaces like water. Here, water, fire, moon, the sun, all these elements are given here. So from water, what we learn is purifying quality, purity by way of cleanliness of body and mind, free from grief, anger, desire, etc. So this is what we have to learn from water. Fire consume everything that comes in its way, but nothing affect him. So, therefore, irrespective of the quality of food I consume, it should suit me. I should also endowed with flawless and equable thinking like the nature of fire. Agniryateko bhuvanam pravishto rupam rupam pratirupo bhavuva. Although fire remaining as one, entering this universe, it takes the shape of the material it enters into. In the same way, Atman that pervades me as also other living being like gods, animals, birds, etc., all born of Maya, is like fire, one and the same. This is the idea of fire. And the moon waxes and wanes during the bright and dark fortnight respectively. But these are phases, it doesn't affect the moon. Moon is one and the same. In the same way, birth, sustenance, growth, transformation, decay, and death are attributes of the body alone and not of the Atman. That is the lesson we have to learn from moon, the sun. Now the sun then reflected on many surface like Toya Divyasthamarthandavate. So this is to remind you, Bhattadri is reminding us the conversation between Shankaracharya and the Chandala. I hope you know the story. When Bhagavan had taken bath in Gangaji and he was going to have darshan of Kashi Vishwanath, walking on the way on the narrow lane, he saw a Chandala coming with 4 dogs. And naturally, Shankaracharya being a Brahmana, he automatically said, move, move, gacha, gacha. The Chandala looked at Shankaracharya and said, Kingangambu Nibimbidembiramano Chandalavadi Baya Ureva Antaramasti. So, whom you are asking to move, if you are asking to move the body is made up of 5 elements, which are the same, your body and my body. And what is the point of moving? And if you are asking me to move the Atma in me, it is like the sun reflected in many pools of water. Whether the sun is reflected in Gangaji or in a pool in the ditch near the Chandala, the sun is not affected. So what is the point of moving? In this way, the Chandala, when he answered, Shankaracharya understood. He just prostrated before him. He understood he is not Chandala. He was none other than Lord Shiva himself. To test Shankaracharya that he has to get out of this, what is that, Brahmanatvam and Adhyatvam, being a sannyasi. That was the question. So, from sun, we have to understand that Atman is reflected in everyone as Chaitanya or Pratibimbatma. Continuing.
स्नेहाद्व्याधात्तपुत्रव्यसनमृतकपोतायितो मास्म भुवं प्राप्तं प्राश्नन् सहेय क्षुधमपि शयुवत् सिन्धुवत्स्यामगाधः मापप्तं योषिदादौ शिखिनिशलभवत् भृङ्गवत् सारभागी भूयासं किन्तु तद्वद् धनचयनवशात् माहमीश प्रणेशम्.
He Isha Masma Bhuvam. O all-pervading Lord, may I not become like thee, Vyadhatta Putra Pranayamrita Kapotayita Snehad, pigeon that lay down its life on account of intense attachment to its offsprings that were caught by the hunter. The pigeon, there is a story about a pair of pigeons who lived happily with their young ones in a nest built on a tree top. One day when the parent pigeon had gone out in search of food, a hunter caught the young ones in a net while they were playing around the foot of the tree. When the parents returned, they saw the pitiable state of the young birds in the net. Unable to bear the agony of their beloved ones, separation of their beloved one, the mother pigeon, who was extremely fond of them, jumped into the same net, renouncing its life, followed by the father. Father also saw this. He also jumped. It was nothing but strong attachment to the children that was responsible for the destruction of the pigeon. My Lord, may I too not get so deeply attached to worldly objects that I become the cause my own destruction. This is the lesson he learned from pigeon. Shayuvat prasnan praptam, like a python, may I eat whatever is got by chance. Saheyat Shudam api, put up with hunger also when nothing is available. So, the attribute of the python is Body of the python, unlike in the case of other snake, is not capable of quick movement necessary for catching its prey. Therefore, it lies curled up and motionless like a rock, ready to snap at any animal coming nearby. It is satisfied with any food brought to it by chance and at the same time willing to stay hungry if nothing comes nearby. Taking life as it comes. May I learn this quality from the python. Okay, that is python. Now ocean. Agadasyam sindhuvata. May I be unfathomable like ocean. The next guru is the treasures of the ocean lie in the depth below the unfathomable waters, beyond anybody's imagination. May I too be endowed with a strong and deep intellect, a treasure house of wisdom. The ocean is calm, deep sea. So, a devoted ascetic to God should be quiet and restful like the calm deep sea. The ocean will not get swollen up and the rivers of water flow in or gets dried up when they don't pump in water. So apuryamana machala pratishtam samudramapa pravishanti yatvai tatvat kamayam pravishanti sarve. That's idea. Now, ma paptam yoshidadau salabhavat shikini. May I not fall for women and the like, similar to the moth attracted into fire, attracted and deluded by the form and light of the blazing fire. The moth is tempted to fly into it, immolating itself unknowingly. So therefore, may I not be infatuated by the bewitching beauty of form, captivating glances, smiles, wiles and guiles of women, which will result only in my own destruction, the moth. Bhuyasam Bringavat, may I be like the large black honey bee, Sarabhagi, seeking only the essence. Kintu he Isha aham, but O Lord, may I Mahapranesham Tadvad, not perish like that, the large black honey bee. Dana Chayana Vashad, by holding well. The large black bee. The large black honeybee is the next one in the line of preceptors. Hovering from flower to flower, it selectively tastes only the essence, the sweet honey, discarding every other part of the flower. Likewise, may I too, abandoning all non-essential things of the world, enjoy only the essence of the scriptures, that is Lord Narayana. But at the same time, I must learn to reject another quality of the same bee. Because of its great love and attachment to honey, it unknowingly stays inside the lotus, not even aware of the fall of the dusk, getting trapped inside when the flower closes. Not that it is not capable of drilling its way out, but it is said that it does not do so for fear of causing damage to the lotus and consequent loss of honey on the next day. So, out of many bondages in this world, the bondage caused by love is the greatest. For the six-legged large black honeybee, although proficient in piercing through even wood, gets inactivated on account of the bondage to the lotus. Likewise, wandering in this world as a mendicant and depending upon others for food, etc., I shall not cause any trouble to the householders in any manner, and I shall take from them just enough food for me. May I not overstay at any place on account of weakness of my palate and get bonded with it by strings of attachment. Next one.
मा बध्यासं तरुण्या गज इव वशया नार्जयेयं धनौघं हर्तान्यस्तं हि माध्वी हर इव मृगवत् मामुहं ग्राम्यगीतैः नात्यासज्जेय भोज्ये झषैव बलिशे पिङ्गलावन्निराशः सुप्यां भर्तव्ययोगात् पुरुर इव विभो सामिशोन्यैर्न हन्यै.
Ma badhyasam tarunya. May I not be captivated by beautiful women like Iva Gejaha Vasaya, like the tusker by the she elephant, the wild elephant. Association with women of ill repute is dangerous. This fact is to be learned from the wild elephant. In order to trap the wild elephant in a trench or a snare, a trained she elephant is sent into the forest. The wild tusker, taking a fancy for her, oversteps its limits, starts taking liberty with her, tries to follow her, and finally gets entrenched. Lord, may I not, like the tusker, get attracted by women and fall into the snare of samsara. Na arjayeyam dhanaukham. May I not hoard excessive wealth. Why he anyaha hartatam madviharaha iva. Because someone else takes it away, like the honey collector takes away. Madhu nestam makshikabihi. The honey saved and kept by the honey bees. So, honey bee. The next guru is honey bee. Misers, after enduring great hardship, earn and hoard riches, neither use them for themselves nor gift them to others. Finally, they are enjoyed by someone else. Son-in-law. May I learn this universal truth from the honey bee, which collects and stores honey much more than its own requirement and prevents others also from acquiring it. Finally, to be removed by the clever honey collector who waits for the bright half of the moon, attacks the comb at night with the torches, destroy the bees and takes away the honey. The same concept is brought out in a lighter vein by someone else. Dino pangida vittantu bhoge bhagyavadam bhavet danta dishanti kashtena jihva janati tadrasam. The riches hoarded by the wretched one are finally enjoyed by the more fortunate one. Of what the teeth chew with great effort, the tongue only knows the taste. Now, Ma Muham Gramya Gite Mrgavata. May I not be enchanted by folk music like the deer. Deer, the spirit of non-attachment is to be learned from the deer. The deer, enchanted by the sweet folk music of the hunter, is caught by him unaware and killed. This only shows that too much of attachment to anything, in this case, like folk music, has its own ill effects. When the poet says, Gramya Gitaihi, he refers to the inferior type of country music which has probably no devotional or cultural value, and not the superior one like Ashtapati or the work of Swadhi Tirunal, Sant Tyagaraja, etc., which are highly devotional in character and which are worthy of being heard and enjoyed. The greatness of divine devotional music is already described earlier in Rasa Krida. Now the next one is the fish. Na atyasanjeyam bhojye kshasha ivaha kshashaha iva bedise, like the fish after the bait in the hook. So the fish, the insatiability of the palate from fish one should learn. Attracted by the tasty bait at the tip of the fishing rod, the fish falls a prey to the evil design of the angler. This happened as a result of the greed for food. May I too not perish like the fish, falling a prey to temptation of food. The term used here, atyasanjayam, insatiable taste. And the next one is supyam nirashaha pinkalavate. May I sleep free from all desires like Pinkala, the courtesan. The next one is Pingala, the courtesan. Ashahi paramam dukkam nairashyam paramam sukham. Desire the cause for excessive grief, as is lack of desire for immense happiness. This is the lesson that one can learn from the story of Pingala. There lived in the city of Mithila a courtesan named Pingala. Eking out a living from immoral trade, she was ever anxious to get the cream of the elite into her fold. One particular day, luck did not favor her at all, and late at night she was still impatiently pacing back and forth in front of her house in anticipation of customers. The time was now past midnight, and movement of people in the street had also stopped. Having lost all hopes for the day and totally dejected, she retired to her room. She was not getting sleep on account of total helplessness and feeling renunciation arising out of utter disappointment. She cried out, Aho me mohavititam vitatim pashyata vichidatmanaha ya kanta dasakam kamaye ena balisha santam samipe ramanam radhipradam chittapratam nityamimam vihaya akamadam dukkhabhayat shokamohapradam tucchamaham bhajeshnya. Oh, how senseless and uncontrolled mind am I! See the extent of my foolishness. Ignorant as I am, I have expected the fulfillment of desire from a trifling, mean paramour, forsaking the eternal and real Lord, resident of my heart and giver of joy and wealth forever. Fondly I have sought a poor man who not only cannot satisfy my desires, but also gives only grief, fear, worry, sorrow, and infatuation. How useless have I afflicted my soul by leading one life of a courtesan, living by such a highly reproachable profession. I expected wealth and satisfaction from a lustful, greedy, and wretched person through my body sold to him. O Lord, may the light of discernment and spirit of renunciation that surfaced in Pingala's mind on account of these and similar thought become an exemplary lesson for me too, to get rid of my desire. When that such thought came to her mind, she slept very well. Let me sleep well, free from all desires. Pingalavate, Vibho, Anye, Nahanye. Lord, may I not be oppressed by others. Eva Kuraraha, like the osprey, the bird of prey. Samishaha Anyai, with a piece of flesh by other birds. Bhartavya Yoga, due to possession of material needing protection. Our next one is an osprey. Osprey was flying away with a piece of meat, but he was chased by more powerful birds like kites, vultures, etc. When he saw that he can no more survive, he abandoned the meat and fled to safety. So, what we have learned from this is it is dangerous to hold wealth and other luxury item on the assumption that they belong to us. May I be blessed with intelligence to realize this. Now continuing.
वर्तेय त्यक्तमानः सुखमतिशिशुवन्निस्सहायश्चरेयम् कन्याया एकशेषो वलय इव विभो वर्जितान् योन्यघोषः त्वच्चित्तो नावबुद्ध्यै परमिषु कृदिवक्ष्माभृदायानघोषम् गेहेष्वन्यप्रणीतेषु इहरिव निवसान् युन्दुरोर्मन्दिरेषु.
Vartayeya sukham adisishuvate. May I be happy like an infant. Tektamanaha, devoid of ego and false sense of pride. O Vibho, all-pervading Lord Krishna. Chareyam nissahayaha. May I move about alone without anybody's aid. Ekasheshaha valayaha iva kanyayaha. Like the only remaining bangle of a maiden. Varjidanyonya kosham, deprived of noise from mutual contact. Here, one is infant. So, a child, what we have to, I should be able to grasp from the infant that I too would be capable of remaining without any worldly thoughts, but with complete happiness. If only I could be devoid of the sense of status and pride. An innocent child, free from anxiety, etc., sleeps well, happy all the time. That is because he doesn't have sense of status or pride, desire, hatred, or like. They do not have any complexes. So let me be like a child, mind like a child. Now next one is the maiden. Kanya, meaning an unmarried girl. Once some relatives of a prospective bridegroom went to a maiden's residence with a marriage proposal. At that time, her parents were temporarily away, leaving her all alone in the house. That families being so poor, it was necessary to pound some paddy to prepare food for the guests. Therefore, the girl, after inquiring about their welfare, seated them in the porch and went inside to pound paddy. While pounding, her bangles clattered with every movement of her hands. She feared that the family's poverty might be exposed with the dire consequences. Therefore, save for a pair of bangles, however, but she started pounding. Even the two bangles, however, continued to clatter. Thereupon, she took off one bangle from each hand, retaining only one each as a sign of auspiciousness. When she resumed pounding, there was no noise from the bangle. She prepared food and fed the guest. Now, what is we learned from Vedati Bhayam Bhavati? Wherever there are two things, separation, I am different, you are different, there is always fear. So, Advaitam alone is happiness. Now comes the Tvachittaha, having my mind firmly fixed on you, na avabuddhai param chashukrit iva. May I be oblivious of everything else like an archer whose mind is fixed on his mark. An archer, single-minded concentration while meditating on Brahman like an archer. The Ishukrit, one can say archer or arrow maker. Both meaning can be given. So arrow maker, sort of archer. When he is making the arrow maker, when he is making, it was said a story that an arrow maker was making that arrow. His concentration was so much even a procession, a Raja's procession was passing by. He was not even aware of it. So this is the, now in Mahabharata also, you must have heard the story, Arjuna's concentration. When the Guru tested all students with a mechanical bird on the top of the tree, and he asked every student, what do you see now? Look at it. And they all said, I can see the tree, I can see the branch, I can see the bird perch on it. Yeah, forget it. So each one said something else. When Arjuna's term came, he said, I see only the eye. Then the Guru said, now shoot. And the point here is, let us have a single-minded concentration while meditating on Brahman, like the arrow maker. The next one is a serpent. Kshma Mridayana Kosham, who did not hear the furor at the king's arrival. Ahi iva mandireshu unduro, like a servant living in the abode of rats. Nivasani geheshu anyapranideshu. May I too live in abode built by others. This is for the sannyasis, okay. The serpent does not build a home for itself. It occupies the burrow made with great difficulty by the rat. Likewise, I should be able to spend the rest of my life in some chowdhury or charitable institution till all my prarabdha karmas work themselves out. Now this is advice to the Mahatmas, sannyasis, not householders. Now come next one. Okay.
त्वय्येव त्वत्कृतं त्वं शपयसि जगदित्योर्ननाभात् प्रतीयां त्वच्चिन्ता त्वत्स्वरूपं कुरुत इति दृढं शिक्षये पेशकारात् विड्भस्मात्मा च देहो भवति गुरुवरो यो विवेकं विरक्तिं धत्ते सञ्चिन्त्यमानो मम तु बहुरुजा पीडितोऽयं विशेषात्.
Patiyam urnanabhat iti tvam kshapayasi toyi eva jagat tutkritam. May I understand from the spider that you do withdraw unto yourself the universe created by you. So, like a wasp, he doesn't go anywhere to find material for creating the web. So the creator of the web is himself, and afterwards he withdraw also the web unto itself. The same way, the Lord may understand, the Lord who created the world, he did not have to go anywhere to get material to create the world. He himself is the material. Shikshaye Peshakara Dridam. May I learn from the wasp for sure. Iti Twachinta Kurute. That meditation on you confers Twatsurupam, your own form, Sarupyam on the devotees. A wasp example is given in the Vedantic literature. A wasp lay his eggs in the nearby ditch, and after the eggs broken down, the worms come out. The wasp take that worm and bring it to a small cage it has made out of clay and put that wasp or worm inside that little cage created by the wasp, mother wasp, and started biting that worm. Out of that fear of the wasp, it started thinking about the wasp all the time out of fear. And finally, that worm break that cage and come out as wasp. This example is given in our Vedanta to indicate that if I keep thinking about, oh Lord, you always with single-minded concentration, whether such concentration is born out of devotion or even enmity or even fear of you, I am sure I too will be blessed with Sarupya Moksha, that is giving a form like yours. So in constant meditation, one can achieve Sarupyam. So we have seen in our stories, Kamsa, out of fear of Bhagavan, he gained moksha, the hands of Bhagavan. He got Sarupya Mukti. Ravana, out of hatredness, he also gained moksha. Gopis, out of love for the Lord, they also gained moksha. Dharmaputra and Arjuna, out of Vatsalya Bhakti, Yashoda, etc., Vatsalya Bhakti. So any form of bhakti, the idea is think of him in any form, you will get Sarupya. This is the idea of the example of wasp. Ya sanchindhyamanaha, that which on contemplation, datte vivekam viraktim, confers power of discrimination, renunciation. Mama ayam tu, the same body of mine indeed. Bahuruja piditaha, afflicted by many ailments. Visheshat, and especially being supportive of those faculties or powers of discrimination. Sadehaha cha, ved basmatma, that body, although constitute of refuse, potentially ashes, etc., bhavati guruvaraha, has turned out to be the best of my preceptors. So, next one, the last one is the 25th one actually, is our own body is a guru. This body itself is capable of imparting the knowledge of discrimination, renunciation. Why should one go in search of another guru at all? Giving up the existing perfect one, because this body afflicted by disease has been instrumental imparting to me sufficient knowledge to realize this truth. It is full of diseases, and finally, however much we pamper, the body has to become ashes. So the body itself is a teacher. Continuing.
हि मे देहमोहं त्यज पवनपुराधीश यत् प्रेम हेतोः गेहे वित्ते कलत्रा दिशु च विवशिताः त्वत्पदं विस्मरन्ति सोऽयं वह्नेषु नो वा परमिह परतः साम्प्रतं चाक्षिकर्ण त्वग्जिह्वाध्या विकर्ष न्यवशमत इतः कोऽपि न त्वत्पदाब्जे।
हे Pavanapuradisha, O Lord of Guruvayur, he, alas, piteous indeed. Tejame dehamoham, pray rid me of this bodily infatuation. Yet prema hetoho vivashitaha, on account of which body love, getting enslaved to, gehe vitte kalatradishucha, home, wealth, wife, and the like. Vismaranti tutpadam, people forget your lotus feet. Saha ayam iha parataha, that same body here at the end of this life. Param vannehe sunaha va, become indeed the property of fire or even dogs. Sampratam cha, but even now when the body is still alive, Akshikarnatvagnikhvadyaha, organ like the eyes, ears, skin, tongue, etc. Jihvadyaha, vigarshanti avasham, pullim who has no control. Ita ataha, here and there. Kaha apina tutpadapche, none at all among these takes him to your lotus feet. Continuing.
दुर्वारो देहमोहो यदि पुनरधुना तर्हि निःशेषरोगान् हत्वा भक्तिं दृढिष्टां कुरु तव पदपङ्केरुहे पङ्कजाक्ष नूनं नानाभवान्ते समधिगतममुं मुक्तिदं विप्रदेहं क्षुद्रेहा हन्त मामा क्षिपविषयरसे पाहि मां मारुतेश.
He Pankajaksha, the lotus-eyed Lord, yeti deha mohaha durvaraha, if bodily infatuation is not preventable, tarhi hritva nishesha rogan, then removing all my ailments, adhuna punaha kuru, now in this life itself bestow on me, Dradishtam bhaktim tava padapangeruhe, firm, unshakable devotion to your lotus feet. Mama kshipa imam vipradeham. Do not pray, do not consign this Brahmana's body. Noonam samadhigadam, that has been certainly earned by me. Nana bhavante, at the end of many transmigrations. Muktidam, and it is capable of giving me liberation. Kshudre vishayarase, into the base essence of sensuality. Ha hanta, that would be piteous indeed. He Marudesha, Pahimam, O Lord Guruvayur, protect me. With that 24 gurus story is over. We'll see the next one, next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyade Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.